In today's class, I've got 7 popular phrases that you can use to sound more like a native English speaker in a business meeting. Welcome to the channel where you learn the business English skills you need to succeed. In today's class, you'll learn how to use these 7 phrases in the context of updating someone about something. Our first phrase is an idiom to bring someone up to speed. And it basically means to update someone, give someone more details about a particular topic so they have the same amount of information as everybody else regarding that topic. And we basically use that at the start of a meeting. For example, you might start a meeting this way. The idea of today's meeting is to bring everybody up to speed about Project X. Or maybe your boss wants you to update someone and he says to you, can you bring David up to speed about Project X? What's important to note here is the someone. The someone is the person we are updating. So in our first example, the someone is everyone. And in the second example, the someone would be David. Our second phrase is to be across something. So if you're across something, it means you know about a particular subject or situation. And if you are not across something, it means you don't know. This is a great way to say I know or I don't know in a more professional way. Let's look at this first example. We should speak to John because he's across the details of the contract. Or if you wanted to say the opposite, you could say, I'm not across the details of the contract. You should speak to John. Our third phrase is to be on top of something. So if you're on top of something, it means you have it under control, you're fully aware of it, and you're doing everything to manage it. Generally, we use this expression when someone is worried about a process or a project and we want to calm them down. We can say, don't worry, I'm on top of it. Or, Jason has already sent everything to the banks. He's on top of it. Our fourth phrase is an idiom. It's a really popular one. It's to touch base with someone. So if you touch base with someone, it means you talk to them for a short period of time to get an update about something or to understand what they think about something. For example, I touched base with the commercial team yesterday to see when they can review the contract. Or I touched base with Jason yesterday about the candidates we interviewed. Our fifth phrase is an idiom to cut it fine. We use this when we want to say we have a little amount of time to complete something or arrive somewhere. And we generally use this when we are stressed or worried about that lack of time. If you can imagine it's the day before an important deadline and you have 1.5 days of work to do, you'd be stressed, you'd be worried, and you want to emphasize that to your colleague. You could say to him, you and I need to get into a room and focus because we are cutting it fine. Or imagine it's the day after and you want to use it in the past. We cut it fine. We managed to submit all of the documents 10 minutes before the deadline. Our sixth phrase is we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So we use this when we want to say, don't worry about a hypothetical problem until it actually happens. And if it does happen, we'll deal with it in the future. For example, you're in a meeting with Jason and your boss, and they're talking about some of the significant deadlines of an important project you're working on. And Jason starts to think about all the hypothetical things that could happen as part of this project. He says, well, what if the project manager quits and puts us all behind the deadline? And to calm him down, your boss says, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Which in this case, the boss is saying, calm down. If that does happen in the future, we will deal with it then. We might find a new project manager or we divide his work between us three. Another example is perhaps you send a contract to the client and there was a mistake and you only realized after you sent it. Your colleague might say, well, what if the client finds the mistake? And your boss says, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, meaning if they do find it, we'll deal with it then. Our last phrase is an idiom to keep someone in the loop. So if you keep someone in the loop, it means you keep them updated, informed about a particular event or situation because it's constantly changing or perhaps it's really important. So when we keep someone in the loop, it means to send regular progress reports, emails, any changes to let them know. And you're generally going to use this expression right at the end of the meeting. So let's look at a couple of examples here. So let's imagine you're telling your boss about a problem you're having with one of your projects. And it's very important to him and he wants to know the updates. He might say to you, "Thanks for letting me know. Please keep me in the loop," which simply means as there are any more changes or developments, to let him know. And you might reply to him, "Absolutely, I'll keep you in the loop," which means I'll keep you updated. And that's our 7 business phrases you can use to sound more like a native when you need to update someone about something. If you like the video, please hit the like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to try and use one of the phrases, feel free. You can put your example in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to correct it.